Okay, greetings. As most of you probably are aware, I am out unavailable doing testing this week, and so we will not have any live sessions until at least Wednesday. I'll keep you updated on that. But in the meantime, I just want to update you on a few things. I've gotten some K-mails about getting extended time on assignments. Asking me to grade things quickly, and it's come to my attention that a lot of you believe that this class ended last week, that it is in fact a block class, which actually it is not. So the class is still going on, actually, and will continue until May 27th, when it officially ends, because it is a semester-long class, not a block class. But that does speak to a bigger issue as far as like assignments. It's actually quite a good thing that it did not end on last Friday, because as I was looking at grades, probably about 50 to 60% of you would not have passed had it ended. So you've got some time. That being said, for those who turn in a lot of assignments, great, awesome. You probably needed that. It would be a shot in the arm to your grades. Keep it up. So don't say, well, I've got another 2 months, great, I can just kind of slack off for the next 2 months. If the only reason you turned in assignments last week was because you believed that the class was ending, well, let me dispel you of any ideas that you can do that again in May. Because if you're not passing, if you're not close to passing by, I would say by the early part of May, your chances of ever catching up are pretty slim. So keep working steadily. If you're going to miss an assignment, that's fine. Try to get caught up as quickly as possible. I'm not expecting that that every week some things might happen. You get sick, or there's some other calamity. But you should be working steadily. There should be not a week or even several days in which you're not turning in something for a grade. This week in particular, there are 5 different assignments that will be due this week. Most of them are quizzes, but there is one written assignment. So make sure, even if you know you're not going to be able to get every assignment turned in, make sure you get the heavy hitters. Look for the ones that have the points. If you're not sure how to find assignments, how to find drop boxes, all these things, watch at the end. I'm going to put a video that will show you how to go about looking for the class plan, how to find drop boxes, how to submit assignments in drop boxes. Just to review, because I know I have a lot of newer students and they need that kind of refresher, and some of you who have not had some troubles with the drop boxes, this might help you with that as well. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you guys on Wednesday, and don't forget class news below to read it. There was a help session from last Friday about the deep thought question. So follow those instructions there. If you have questions, you can email me or give me a phone call. Like I said, I'm not at the office, you can tell, but you can leave a voicemail and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Okay, so you're navigating my classroom and you're confused and you're trying to figure out where do I find things like assignments, and why am I so behind in this class? Well, okay, so this is for new and some older students who, have fallen behind. I'm going to try to help you find the most efficient ways to navigate my class, so that way you're not wasting time. Now, of course, you can go over here to class content. I find it particularly inefficient. It's got everything that you need for this class in these folders, but if you don't know what you're doing or where you're going, it can be a hassle, and even I find it kind of difficult to manage at times. So I generally stay away from this area. It is one way to find things, but I think this is a last resort. The better ways to find out what you're supposed to be doing, first of all, look at the class news. I will put important stuff here in the class news, as you can see. Don't dismiss it. if you happen to accidentally dismiss my news out of hand, you can always click on class news and go take a look at all the class news that I've posted throughout the semester. So it's important stuff. I know there's lots going on in this class news, but I try to only post important stuff. So if you know if there's a class news, it's usually something that is important and pertains to you. Second, come up here to grades. So I'm going to click on the grades tab at the top here. You see all these wonderful tabs. You can see I'm not a very good student because I have no grades yet. But this lists every assignment from the beginning of the semester until the end, pretty much. I think almost 90% or 99% of them are loaded already. There's only a few that need to be loaded, which I will add as we go along. But what I want you to make note of is a couple things here. Make note of assignments where you have a number that is 0. Obviously, if you're a late student, you may see some of these early assignments are dashes because they didn't apply to you. But if you come down a little bit lower, for example, let's say you started this class in February and you notice a 0 for this particular assignment up here or this particular assignment up here. These are big numbered assignments. This one's worth 50 points. This one's worth 100 points. This one's worth 150 points. Holy cow. So if you're wondering, wow, why is my grade like really low? Check for zeros, particularly on these big numbered assignments. You can do all the 5-point quizzes you want, but if you get 1 0 on a 100-point quiz, it's going to drop your grade considerably. Probably screw it up. So make note of those, because these are the assignments that you're going to want to focus on first. Those are the assignments that will get your grade up faster. So then once I've done a quick view of my grades, I made note of, I may jot down on a piece of paper maybe assignments I missed. Maybe I missed them when I was doing the lessons. I'm going to go back and fix that one assignment I got a 0 on. Maybe this 50-pointer. So this LC 2.06 grade assignment planning and organizing persuasive essay. Okay, fair enough. Well, now how do I find the instructions and the Dropbox where I can send the assignment and complete it? Well, okay, so I can go back to my class home. You'll notice on the far left bar there's something called a class plan. If you're just glossing over it, you may notice that below it's got information on what we're doing on a particular day. In the dark blue, you've got all the assignments and lessons that we're doing on today, basically, this day. If you see below it, light blue, this tells you some stuff that's coming in the future in the next couple days. But this assignment that I'm trying to work on was a late assignment, so it isn't due today, it isn't due in the future. It was due maybe weeks ago, maybe months ago. I don't remember it. So how do I find it? Well, I'm going to click on the class plan. You can click on the plan above, or you can click on the word class plan that's on the top of the column. It doesn't matter which. And right now I have it at month view. For you guys, it may be defaulted to agenda view or day view. This is nice, but I find that week and month view are the most useful to me, because these give me a longer view of what's going on in class, what happened in the past, and what's coming up in the next week or two. I try to keep this calendar updated, but I can only go up to maybe 2 weeks in advance. So right now you can see I've got this week's lessons planned out, and then on Friday I will probably load up the next 2 to 3 weeks. As you can see, there's nothing on the 28th and the 29th because we're on break. So that's good. You got a little bit of break coming up here. A couple things I want you to notice about the calendar. One is that it's color-coded. So all your classes will have their own color codes. You can actually set these, I believe, using the change calendar colors. So you can adjust the colors to your own liking. For me, I have 3 different classes I'm assigned to, but only 2 of these classes are classes that I'm actively teaching. One I'm just a co-teacher on, so I don't need to worry about grading assignments and updating the class news in that particular class. So as you notice here, I've got it in neutral white. That way I can see it, but it doesn't distract me. In red and blue are the classes where I am an active teacher and I have to actually grade things for. You can do the same thing on your end. Right now I have it to show me just one class, and it's highlighted the lessons in blue. At the top of each day you're going to see a lesson. That is what we're doing that particular day. If there is a live class, you'll see a reminder, not the link, but a reminder below it. You can still go through the traditional way through the other part of the LMS to get to the live class link, but there's just a reminder there to let you know, yep, come to class. Yeah, seriously, come to class. And then below that, you'll see the word do, usually. I started doing that a couple of weeks ago just so I could show you more clearly the difference between what's going to be graded and what are not graded assignments or lessons. So these are the graded assignments here towards the bottom of the list. The only thing that's at the very, very bottom of the list, if we had a live session, I will post the class recording link here. So if you miss class, let's say, oh crap, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I missed the live class for that day. Later on in the day, or maybe the next day, you can pop back here and click on the Class Connect recording. And it shows what topic we discussed in class, so that you can click on the link and review the recording. One thing I want to make sure, if you're going to do a quiz, for example, quiz that was due on March 9th, more pronoun antecedents. Make sure that you do the lesson that's associated with it. Don't just go to the quiz, because you will not do well on the quiz if you don't know anything about the material. So the material is probably in lesson 35, the lesson that's directly above it. So that's where you would want to start and work your way down, and then you can do the quiz. Now, I said I was looking for the persuasive planning guide. I have a feeling that was a few weeks back, probably in the month of February. So I'm going to click on the arrow back here and move back to February. As you can see, I can go all the way back to the beginning of the session of the semester, which happened in January. And I'm going to look. It was 2.06. Oh, look at that, 2.06. I click on it, graded planning and organizing a persuasive essay. It's got the digital materials, so looks like I can click on here to get the instructions. I click on more to go directly to the page, and there is the Dropbox at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and I can go click here. If there's any downloads, there we go. So I can download this. There's the planning guide. That's all good for me. I can fill that out. Make sure I save it onto my hard drive in a file that I'm going to remember. So I have mine set up so that I can go in here and click on class documents, and whoop, I can give it a name. I'm going to remember for persuasive or whatever. I could just name it the name of the assignment too. 2.06. LC something or other. Okay. And save it. And then go back here. Click on the Dropbox, add attachments, upload, and I just have to remember where I put it and what I called it. So I hit it in the documents, and it was in the Insight folder, class documents, and there it is right there. Boom, I can open, and I can upload it. If I upload it, it'll tell me it's there. But I can always double check. I can go in the Dropbox again and make sure that it's there. If you can see it in the Dropbox, that means your teacher can as well. Just an FYI. And then once I see it, hopefully I'll get to grade it soon. This week it's been a little dicey because of the testing. I've been out and I've been at locations where I haven't had a lot of internet connection. So it's slowed my grading considerably. But I hope to get everything caught up. If not this week, early next week. I'm just going to hit cancel because I don't want to really upload that. But that's where you would go. Okay, so just to recap, so you want to know what's going on in class, go to class news first. Then make sure, maybe not every day, but make sure that you at least once a week check your grades tabs. Okay, look for those assignments that might have zeros in them. Then go to your class plan. Look for those assignments in the calendar and make sure you do the lessons that are associated with them, and then click on the links to go to the assignments in the calendar rather than to try to navigate the content, which is a real pain in the butt. I'll admit it wasn't well designed, but this program is flexible enough to allow us to make some shortcuts, and so hopefully this will be helpful for you in the future. Well, thank you very much. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great week until then.